Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com. So I went to the Glam Nation tour at the Nokia Theater to see Adam Lambert. Thanks to Pasta Baby, thanks a lot. I got to give you a shout out. And it was interesting. It was my first time seeing Adam Lambert live. Now I watched him on American Idol. I even did, I do a YouTube commentary for American Idol every year, like the last 2 years. So, you know, and even at one point I put up a video called My Love Affair with Adam Lambert because he's just a magnificent performer with a wonderful instrument, and I was hoping all the way that he was win. So now that he's come up with his album and everything, he's on tour on the Glam Nation tour. I went out to see it at the Nokia Theater in Times Square in New York City. And while I was there, I was twittering back and forth with people. And so someone was like, oh, you should probably do a review of the concert, you know what I was saying? And I was like, oh, I don't know. So this is going to be a short review of the concert with maybe a few photos and little clips of video for you guys. And I hope you enjoy it. Now, all of my commentary, understand, is from the perspective of a singer, a performer. So some of it's kind of backstage stuff. A lot of it's not really judging what's going on, but just saying what I see. And I am going to do that here with the concert. First, coming into the Nokia, I got there early and like saw who was there and everything like that. I was looking for my contacts, the people I was with, and then I left to go home and change, take a nap, you know, get ready and all that good stuff. And I got back about 5 minutes to 8, and I was like one of the last like dozen or 2 dozen people to come in the venue, at least before the show started at 8 o'clock, because I was there about 5 to 8. So I get there, you know, and I look around. It's not that crowded, you know. Standing room only down by the front. And the stage was all set for the opening performer, Allison Irihita, who I loved, who I think got to number 3 in American Idol, who I thought was very great, and she just had such stage presence, and to be so young especially, but she'd been performing since she was like 5, so, you know, I could understand it. And she did not disappoint for me. She was wonderful. I didn't know a lot of the songs that she was singing. She did actually do Heartbreaker. Which I knew, you know, and I could really be like, oh, I could be into it and stuff. But everything she did was very good. I just noticed in the very first song, you know, she didn't have a lot of background or anything like that. It wasn't like a big band. She had a very young, emo-looking band, except for the noticeably clean-cut keyboardist. He kind of took away from the image a little bit, but I'm sure he's an excellent musician. But, you know, maybe they need to glam him up a little bit for the rest of the tour. But besides that, you know, there was a lot of backgrounds going on, and, you know, the music was very tight. You know, and I was like, it sounded like there was a click track. Now, what I mean by a click track is usually there's a track playing and the band is playing along to it. So it's a live performance, but there's already backing there. And I believe that Allison is doing a click track. And you can kind of tell by the way songs end also, because there's not a lot of room to play around at the end. It just does its thing, you know. And I believe that there was a click track because there was a lot of extra vocals and there was a lot of instrumentation. It could have been on the sequencer or whatever, but I don't know. I don't think so. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. It keeps down costs and all of that, and you still get a big full sound. She sounded great singing. I loved her. At one little point, she sounded like she might be getting hoarse, but then she just, bam, she blew it, and it's like her voice came back stronger, like she got her second win. Orianthi, someone who I don't know and have not yet had a chance to research, came out and did a solo on one of her songs, which is pretty hot. Yeah, and then next up, of course, she finished and they cleared the stage and set up for Orianthi, and I was like, oh, okay, so she's going to be playing too. And this girl I'd never seen before, but she was very, very pretty, you know, I thought, and she's very rocker chic, and the way she was dressed and the way she looked and the way everything was set up. But also, she just had just the most amazing, amazing guitar riffs. And her solos were just, oh my God, they touched my heart. I didn't know who she was. So I was like, who is this? I got to go and research her some more. So I definitely will be checking out some more of her music. The only song that she did that I recognized, she did a Kelly Clarkson cover. And I was like, oh, she sounds pretty good, her voice and everything. I thought, this sounds pretty good, but her guitar playing was out of this world. At the end, I thought it was funny that they threw out guitar picks and drumsticks to the audience. That was kind of nice, because a few people in front of me got them, and they were so excited reading them the whole time, during the show. So that's like a really good something to take home with them, and I'm sure they'll tell everybody about the show now. Yeah. Okay, so do I have anything else? Oh, I also wrote the music was very sexy, though it was very loud also. I mean, it was so loud that my heart was bursting in my chest. I was like, doo-doo. I felt like I was at the club. I really wanted to dance, but there was no room to move. I wrote at one point I moved up. Okay, and I have to say this right now. I was meeting some friends there. I came earlier, then I went home, and they knew I was coming back. I was going to meet them. So, at some point I called them, like when the music stopped or whatever. I said, where are you? So they raised their hand, and I was going up to meet them. I did not know they were at the very front of the stage. I mean, like right at the little gate partition of the stage. So I was making my way through, and people kind of looking at me, and then after a while, like they just wouldn't move anymore, and I was just like, so we're like, and we were no more than 3 to 5 feet away, really. But then behind me there was like a little riot of like, what is he doing here? And and all that. And I apologize to anybody who was in that little ruckus, because I felt uncomfortable about it after I got up there. And I was like, okay, they don't want to move, and I don't want to, go back. So what do I? So I just kind of moved off a little bit to the side, and it was just very interesting. I wrote on Twitter, I was like, I'm going to start a riot up in here, but just by trying to move up to meet my friends, But anybody who had somebody holding a place there was trying to get to their people. But I think the big thing was they were right at the front of the stage. I mean, right in front of the stage. And people were just not hearing it. They were like, I've been here since 9 in the morning. I was like, no problem. I ain't got no problem with that. But anyway, if anybody was in that record, I really apologize. I am sorry. Forgive me. It was my first concert at Adam. And Pasta Baby did tell me that, the guys get a little tight. They're very jealous of their Adam, and I can definitely see that. Okay, so next came up Adam Lambert. So they took down everything. They reset the stage for Adam. The only thing I didn't like, I guess he's scheduled to go on at a certain time. So we waited even after the stage was set, we waited at least 15, 20 minutes before he actually came on. He started at 10 o'clock, or a few minutes after 10, but he was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. And that kind of was I was like, oh, come on, can he just start, or whatever. I don't know why they're set like that, but, every venue and every person has their reasons. So, it was there, and everybody who was there was not going anywhere. They came to see Adam, and that's what they were going to see. And they came to see a show, and that's what they saw. Let me tell you. Of course, he had a big gay kiss with his bassist. Okay. And of course the women went wild, just wild over it. Okay. It was like the first time I saw, what is it called? Yowie. I saw Yowie on the internet. I was like, what is this? Because these men were kissing and the women were just going absolutely mad. Well, that's the same way. That's what was happening at the concert. So he comes out and he's got this whole voodoo thing going on here. And I'm looking, I'm saying, he doesn't have I thought he had on some sandals, something with just a bottom and string or whatever. But he didn't have any shoes or anything on, his toenails were painted black. Everybody's nails were painted black. It was just very dramatic, It made me think of a circus or a carnival. Yeah, so that's about that. So there was a lot of things going on. It was very sensual, very sexual, very exciting. And the songs. And it's not really my genre of music, but he gave such a wonderful performance, and I knew he would. You know, just from watching him in American Idol, I knew that he would have a full show. The dancers were magnificent. The musicians were magnificent. Everybody was just so hot and sexy, you know. And his voice, what I came to see, came to hear, the voice was on the whole time. And it surprised me at one point because I never realized that Adam has such a powerful and present chest voice. You know, he has all this extraordinary ethereal head voice going on, but he has such a strong, I can't call it anything but present, chest voice. It's amazing. And I was listening to it and I was like, wow, it really surprised me because I didn't notice it so much on American Idol. There's nothing much I can say about the show. How can you improve on like perfection? He sang for like an hour, 10 minutes, you know. At the end, they ended the show and everything, and then people just stood there and just ran it until he came out and did 2 more songs. And the whole time, he was just there for the audience. And he was sharing, and he was giving, and he was loving, and he was entertaining, and he was shocking. And, you know, do you get the idea? Of what I'm trying to say? It was an experience. And I hope for especially all of his fans that you get to experience this experience because it was so wonderful. And as a performer, to see someone who came up in the type of show that he came up in, to really experience something magical in a night of performance. And that's what people come out for. That's what people pay their money for. And the people that I was there with are probably right at this moment at Foxwoods watching him in another show. They will be watching him in Atlantic City this Saturday. You know, they are planning on going down to Florida to see his show because it is such an experience. It is so exhilarating and it is so thrilling. This is running longer than I wanted it to run. I hope you guys get to enjoy Adam Lambert and in the Glam Nation tour. All right. I look forward to your comments in the comment section.
I feel blessed and spoiled.